If there was one thing that the engines on the island of Sodor don't like, is that they don't like trucks. Trucks have been giving them headaches on the railway, no matter if the engines are nice to them or not. And sometimes they can cause a big deal of trouble and delays. But sometimes trucks can be nice to the engines if you get to know them. But the engines know that the trucks are a very important part on the railway when it comes to transporting goods. One day, Edward was taking some empty vans for Henry's flying kipper train that he's gonna take later today, and when he went over to the yards, he saw Donald and Douglas looking mad and wondered why. Hello, Donald. Hello, Douglas. Why are you looking all mad? Well, you may want to look next to you. Well, hello, troublesome destroyers. We meet again. Scruffy, what are you doing here? The last time you were here, you and the trucks pushed Donald down the hill and almost created an accident between Donald and Douglas. And then afterwards, Stanley put you in the siding at Marin. Let's just say, I have some reasons to be back. More like excuses to be back. Sir Topham Hatt have said that he needs some questions and he needs to be asked for him, and afterwards he's not gonna be here because he's gonna be transported to some other place. But for the reasons or questions that he need to ask to him, we don't know yet. He hasn't told us. More like questions that you won't be able to understand, or some information that Sir Topham Hatt hasn't told to you engines. Interesting. Sir Topham Hatt has always been very honest to us, and he never kept any secrets from us ever in the history of this railway. I say he's just trying to play in your head. Don't even worry about Scruffy Edward. He's gonna be gone very soon. Right. I'm gonna ask Sir Topham Hatt about why he needs Scruffy, so that way he needs to ask him questions about. And you guys take care of the trucks, and don't let Scruffy telling any rumors or spreading any misinformation. Huh, that would be very, very easy to handle. After leaving his vans at the harbor and collecting his goods train at Marin, Edward went to take his goods train at Telsroad. While traveling along with his goods train over the countryside, Edward began to think about what Scruffy have said. It is quite common for trucks to be disciplined, even the ones who behave badly the most. He could think of a few instances that this had occurred. The first incident was when Donald and Douglas came to Sodor and how they had to deal with a spiteful brake van, which Donald have gave a warning to the brake van. Afterwards, Douglas actually crushed the spiteful brake van into pieces while banking up James at Gordon's Hill. Afterwards, the trucks decided to play a little tricks on Donald because of it, which include a hot axle box and brakes slipping on, and a runaway, which led the trucks to stop near Edward Station, and afterwards he gave a staring talking to the trucks, and afterwards there was no trouble at all. The second one was when he had to deal with the leader of the cattle cars because the car was being rude to Bill and Ben when they first came to the island, and Edward was able to give him consequences by pushing him accidentally into the turntable well at his station. The third one was when Oliver had to teach Scruffy a lesson, and by doing so he added the worst cars 2x2 and adding Scruffy at the front, which Scruffy told the trucks to pull him back, but he fell apart by Oliver by accident. But he did remember that the trucks did not give Salty trouble because of all the singing he did, and which led to Salty and the trucks working together. But Edward was still having trouble putting the pieces together, as if why did the Sir Topham Hatt need to ask questions to Scruffy, and what type of secrets did Scruffy meant by it? Hello, sir. Oh, hello, Edward. Looking at the railway to see how it's operating, huh? Well, yes. What are you doing here, Edward? Is there something that you need to talk to me about? Well, yes. Scruffy told me, Donald and Douglas, that you were gonna ask him about some questions, and then he said something about there are secrets that even you did not even tell us about, and I'm beginning to ask, is that really true, sir? Well, I do not know why did he said that to you three, but if you're gonna ask me that, come here at sunset, so that way we can talk private. Alright, if you say so, sir. Sir Topham Hatt has spoke to Edward about it, and Edward was listening very serious, and Sir Topham Hatt was giving him all the information to the questions that was needed to be answered, and both of them were serious about it. And that's it. You know as well as I do now. I know, but are you certain that he's going to give you all the answers to the questions that you needing to ask? Because you know what he is. He lies. I know about that, Edward, but don't worry. I need to know the facts about who is this private owner and whether or not this guy or person has a connection to this railway. Whether or not I'm going to figure out this myself. And it's probably best to not tell anybody about this, including the engines, because I don't want them to figure out, because I need to get all the answers right. I get it, sir. I get it. Now, Edward, you better be going, because I know that you have a good strain to take right now. Man, I really need to figure out who's this private owner to that truck. If that truck tells me who's this private owner, it may be a risky move to me and the railway together.